إنا أنزلنا إليك الكتاب بالحق لتحكم بين الناس بما أراك الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Bismillah walhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalam ala habibina Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. In Surah Al-Kahf, there's a story of a man with two gardens. He had a less fortunate friend who didn't have as much wealth and manpower as him. And he started to brag to this friend and to compare between them. And he developed a very arrogant attitude. In ayah number 34 of Surah Al-Kahf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَكَانَ لَهُ ثَمْرٌ فَقَالَ لِصَاحِبِهِ وَهُوَ يُحَاوِرُهُ أَنَا أَكْثَرُ مِنْكَ مَالًا وَعَزُّ نَفَرًا. And this man had a lot of wealth, a lot of fruits, a lot of gold, silver. And he says to his friend while conversing with him, I have more wealth than you, and I have more manpower. And then he goes on to say, I don't think this is ever going to end. I have it so good. I can't even envision that this provision and this wealth that Allah has blessed me with will ever end. And he said, and you know what? I don't even think the day of judgment is ever going to be established either. So he started making statements of disbelief. His friend responds to him in a displeased way and says, قال له صاحبه وهو يحاوره أكفرت بالذي خلقك من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم سواك رجلا. So this other companion who is less fortunate says to him while they are conversing, do you disbelieve in the one who created you from dust and created you from a drop of sperm and then formed you into a man, the man that you are? You were nothing before. And then Allah blessed you with all of this, and now you have this attitude? Subhanallah. So I mentioned these two ayat here. One first when the man is bragging about his wealth, and the second one where the other friend who is less fortunate calls his friends out for his statements of disbelief. In ayah number 34 and in ayah number 37, there is a similar word, sahib. It's written in both of these ayat. In the first one, when the man starts bragging about how much wealth he has, it is written without the alif. This is showing that between these two men, there's a close companionship. They're close, they're good friends. The alif is missing in the writing of the word sahib in this ayah. But when the man goes on, the rich man goes on to brag more and then makes statements of disbelief, how he doesn't believe that the day of judgment will be established, how he doesn't believe that his ride of having all these provisions will ever end. When he starts to make statements like this, his friend, his close friend, starts to distance himself from those statements and from his friend. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word sahib in ayah number 37, but writes it with an alif there. The alif is actually written. So what we can derive from this, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, is that the alif here is added because in this context, it's showing us that the less fortunate man is so displeased with the statements of disbelief that this friend of his, this so-called friend made, he is trying to distance himself from those statements and the action of his friend. Allahu Akbar. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.